Usborne Books and More has amazing tools to help you teach your little one to read. Our dual readers are amazing. This one is a complete book of Farmyard Tales, illustrated by Stephen Cartwright. So there is a little hidden yellow duck on every page. So there it is right there. So kids have a fun time searching for that little duck. I love his illustrations. They're classic. But what's really cool about our dual reader is the way it's used. You can read it a few different ways. You can just read the top text or simple text and the story will make sense. So this is going to be great for the reader who doesn't necessarily want to sit through a whole story. Or you can read the top and include the bottom text. So it will fill in the gaps, be more specific, a little bit more complicated text on the bottom. Now, you have a beginner reader, you're going to have them read the top text and you are going to read the bottom text. So you're supporting them, you're reading it with them. And then once they build some confidence and they're able to read a little better on their own, they can read the whole thing themselves. Now this one's great. There's 20 stories in this one book. It's an awesome, one of my favorites. We also have princesses, fairy tales, train stories, Bible stories is another one of our dual readers. And then we've got phonics readers because phonics is essential to learning to read. You can buy these individually, and we have quite a few. Each phonics reader works on a different sound. So bug in a rug, kangaroo at the zoo. I'm sure you can guess which sounds these both are working on. They're both new books. They're fun. They make great picture books, so you can just a fun little read. But your child is learning when they're reading these. They're learning phonetic sounds, and the pictures and illustrations are just fun. So you can buy them individually. We also have a combined volume phonics book. This one is Ted and Friends, and it has 12 of them. There are some flaps in this book. This one happens to be the ones illustrated by Stephen Cartwright, so you will find the little hidden yellow duck in these ones as well. So this is an example of one of the flaps in these books. There's also a CD in this one. Then we have something that is completely near and dear to my heart, especially right now because I am using this series to teach my son to read. This series is Usborne Very First Reading Set, and it is very well known. It's been used for a very long time. Reading centers and teachers will attest to this. It works, it's awesome, and it's great because you're involved in the process of teaching your child to read. Now, one great thing is you're not left trying to figure it out. How do I do this all on your own? It comes with a parent guide. It goes through each book, the sounds that they're going to be learning, how you teach them to read, and then it also goes through and it tells you at the bottom the irregular words that they're going to be learning in that particular book. How this works is they're going to start with the very first book, which is Pirate Pat. They're all hardback, really nice quality, great illustrations. But what's going to happen is you are going to start with the left-hand side, a little bit smaller, more complicated text, and then they're going to read the right side, which is tap, tap, tap. That's going to be the first thing they read. Now, how this works is each book starts with a few specific sounds, and then the second book, they're going to revisit these and build on them. So they're constantly reviewing and building on what they're learning. That's the best way to teach. So one way for you to make sure that your child is actually retaining and understanding what they're learning is there are puzzles in the back. So you review, after you're done reading, you review these and you go through the puzzles, and this will help to show you if your child is really retaining and understanding what it is they're reading. These are fantastic. So answers to the puzzles, and then guidance notes for each book. Once they get through book 7, they're going to move on to book 8, and this is Moon Zoom. This is when they're going to start to be reading on their own. There's some books, and there's some words in there that are fun, but they're also going to be building on the words that they've already learned, and so this is going to help gain their confidence. They're going to be really excited. They're starting to read on their own. Book 15 is Mr. Mystery, and they will be fully able to read this on their own, and then they can go back through the whole set of 15. So this series is great. I've heard so many stories of people and having such high success with their struggling readers who, you know, have been trying to learn to read, and it just hasn't been sticking. But this set really does help because you're doing it together. It's phenomenal the way that they set it up with the different sounds building on each other. So I highly recommend this. If you have any questions, let me or your consultant know, and we will definitely work to find you the best resource to help your child learn to read.